And we're back. Back in the New York groove.
We're back. Let's go.
Alright, so any questions do you want to put in in any article or anything?
Uh, I don't know. I feel like I'll just mess with like what I have. Okay, Joe. Wait. Sorry, I'm thinking about also streaming, and I'm just gonna stream your. Like I said, I'm gonna stream your stream, but I want to know your thoughts on like if I get chatters. Do you want to like acknowledge them and answer the questions, or are you trying to do like a YouTube video where it's like seamless?
No, I think you kind of answer their question if it pertains to the topic, if it's not out of the blue, like derailing the course of the show, if you can answer it quick too. Acknowledgement's great. It's how you build the community. So you gotta give feedback, but let's not sit there for 30 minutes and get into something.
No, not something like random. I'm just like, yo, what's up? Yeah, doing this thing with Crypto Hound, ripping it.
Exactly. And I'll take a deep breath and give you room to say what up.
Yeah. I'm like, we need like a code word so I can just like say it, and then you give me like some room
Gotcha.
to just quickly like I'll do like two sentences about a chatter, and then go immediately go back to what you're doing. But I don't want to like ruin your flow. You know what I mean? If you're flowing,
Nah, we'll be good.
ask it.
I'm not worried.
We'll send
Full send.
live check.
Alright. We're gonna record in 3, 2, 1. Let's get it. What's going on, everybody? It's the Crypto Hound here. We got a special guest today, a giant dog who is going to be breaking down the latest with us. Today we're going to be going over the 2024 presidents and their stance on cryptocurrency. Then we're going to move into the BRICS system and how all these nations are trying to come together and not use the US dollar. They want to use their own currency and somehow convert each country's currency to the other countries. And when you're talking about millions of dollars, that's not so easy. There's got to be a tax in there too. After that, we're going to talk about play to earn video games and then go into SpaceX race. And these are some of the giant dog's talking points you brought up. I love talking about just futuristic stuff and things we got on the horizon to look forward to. So, giant dog, you want to say what up?
Yeah, what is going on? Stream the Crypto Hounders. Thank you for having me. You know, I'm gonna have a nice chat today about all these trending topics that are on the tip of everyone's tongue. You know, get you guys some ideas about what's going on out here.
It's going to be juicy. And then after this, we'll probably post a video about the latest XRP news, go over Link 2, and if you want to buy Ripple, the company shares that owns XRP, go over some chart TA, see when this moon candle is going to come in when we take off and start seeing 25% green days back to back for a month straight. And then I'm also going to go over safe investments for any new investor that keeps looking at their phone, wondering if it's a good time to get in. We're going to go over the safest way and just a good entry idea, and we'll disclose that in another video. So let's get into it today, a giant dog. We got the dogs here, straight out of the dog park. Check out our Discord. That's where all the latest news gets shared. So
Yeah.
It looks like Democrats aren't showing up, man. If this is like a baseball team, they don't even have enough players to play.
Now they can strike out at this point. What do they got?
With Joe Biden batting leadoff. Yeah, that's one out right there. Robert F. Kennedy, you know, I could see a double from him. I could see Robert F. Kennedy making a move here at the next presidential election.
Okay. Why is that specifically? Being he's got some.
He's in the Kennedy family. There is a standpoint that he came out with that he's more pro Bitcoin. Let's see where he stands.
Okay. Yeah, that is true. Not a lot of people like Joe Biden's hot. Obviously, he's our president right now, but a lot of people are looking to
Anyone else?
fight for the top ladder.
But the
Anyone
Republicans there's so many of them. I feel like they're divided all over the place. Of course, they don't talk about
It was interesting.
Don't
I
know.
remember last election cycle. I feel like a lot of the candidates were not like as a candidate can run, but not actually be going for the presidential spot. They're just kind of also like maybe pushing their agenda, just like making sure it gets heard, like when they go to these debates and do these things. So I feel like a lot of people,
True.
a lot of the other candidates, I feel like more on the Republican side that I feel like that will happen again. My prediction.
Wow, look at this, dude. This would be huge. Imagine this during the next bull run. Robert F. Kennedy still boosts Bitcoin despite alleged conflicts of interest and wants to exempt the cryptocurrency from capital gains taxes, meaning any
Ooh,
any net gains you make, you don't have to pay 20% back at the end of the year.
that's literally like what is that?
That's like no other investment out there. That's not like any US stock. Even real estate, there's always like underlying costs like to selling the house, and you always have deductions that come in, so it's kind of
Yeah,
a natural way for anything. But to exempt them, I think this might just be like a media hype article here.
yeah, that's a lot. Because what's like the only thing that does that is it's like you could Roth IRA, something like that, where
Yes, you're
you
right,
don't
right.
get that. So it's almost like any cryptocurrency you have is as if you put in a Roth IRA, which is just ridiculous for like
Yeah,
savings on
exactly,
taxes.
that's a great way to interpret that. I just feel like if it's exempt from capital gains taxes, I also feel like it's not being regulated, which is something I
That is
as a
true.
like I want regulation, just because if I lose crypto, I want there to be a phone number I could call up and be like, "Hey, I had a fraud or a scam. Can you try to track down my lost funds and get it back to me like a credit card has or something?" And
Yeah,
it seems like he's kind of looking away from regulation when he talks about like if we're gonna make if we're gonna turn $100 into $1,000, you pay $200, you're still taking $800 home. Anyway,
yeah.
let's go back to our candidates here. So Marianne Williamson, I really don't know that much about her. She was a 2020 presidential candidate. Dude, it takes so much money just to be a candidate and to do all this fundraising and stuff.
It does. It does. And there's no point in like kind of half-assing it. You gotta go crazy with it
You
if you want a
got it.
chance.
Must drive you crazy doing this.
It's a real
I don't know a lot of these
decision.
guys. Tim Scott, is that the guy in New York? Is that the mayor of New York? Looks like it might be a different guy. Let's see.
Yeah, who replaced our guy?
No,
Because
South
he
Carolina.
got kicked out, right?
Oh, damn. Oh, our mayor? The Lawrence
Yeah.
dude? Yeah. He going.
Was it? Is it Cuomo? No.
Cuomo, yeah. It was Cuomo, but it was like senior. Now I think it is some other dude.
Thought it was a woman. Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know.
All right, so let's see where their positions are. We go into more about kind of who they are and stuff like that, but your big contenders for this, or like the people that are going to get majority of the votes,
Yeah.
is going to be
Happy
Joe.
Hooch.
It's going to be these top dogs here: RFK, Joe Biden. If we were betting who was going to be the finalist for the election, what do you think about Chris Christie
Yeah.
in New Jersey?
Christie, yeah, I think he's New Jersey. And then the new governor of New York is Kathy Hochul. I'm maybe butchering her name, but I feel like it's just too early. Like she probably has like the age and like know how to maybe like go for presidential stuff, but I just don't think she's as popular as she needs to be to like make worth spending all that money.
True, true.
Valid enough. Like she needs some more years. Maybe next time for her.
So, out of these Republicans, a giant dog, who do you think, if you could pick four of these, that will be in consideration to run?
All right, my top four in consideration
I mean,
for Republicans.
if you get
Yeah,
it down to two, that's even better. But let's start with four.
I don't know. I feel like Mike Pence has been. I don't want to go straight for Trump here. I'm gonna beat around the bush.
Okay.
But I feel like Mike Pence here has been. He's ran a few times. Like he probably ran
His
in the
name's
last
out
like two
there.
elections. His name's definitely out there. He's a popular guy, and I feel like a lot of people can get behind his like. He reminds me of like a normal like standard kind of
Like
Republican
he's
guy.
running for vice president again. Like
Yeah,
he is totally fine being vice president. He's like, you know what? I'll aim for the moon,
he was
land in the
VP. That is
stars.
true.
I'll be
Okay.
right. So
Wait,
Trumpy, Pensy. What are your other two here?
depends. I don't know. Oh, was it? Isn't it? Is Ron DeSantis the one in Florida? Is that Florida?
Yeah, yeah. The whole
Yeah,
crazy
he's getting a
sneeze.
crazy hype. I think him, those three, and then Chris Christie are like my top four
Yeah, I'd agree
of the
with that.
people I feel like.
This Ramaswamy dude gets a lot of attention too. He was in the other articles, and
Yeah,
he's young, dude. And
yeah,
I
he's
like
young.
I'd like having a young president that's like knows the latest. New Hampshire.
Yeah, I know. I feel like biggest thing right now is like going through the government. There's like a lot of people hating on how the government's run, where it's like people, like you have these like really old, elderly Congress people who are just not able to do their jobs, or like it's not even that they're not. Sometimes it's that they're not able to, but in other cases, it's just like you could have someone else who would just do better. Like
Yep.
if you had a
Yep.
fresh guy who
That,
was
that
like,
they're complacent. Like, okay, you have the job now, and
yeah,
it really seems like what's going on now is more like a manipulation kind of thing. It's not what Biden wants; it's what's brought up to him, and he's just approving it. He's like, "Yeah, that makes sense. That's fair. Sure."
yeah,
But we need a president that has his own like ambition and like passion to make a difference that he wants to do. That's what we need. We need someone with some drive. Yeah, so a giant dog. Check out the numbers here. This was on Ramaswamy's little Wikipedia thing. Donald Trump, right? Total
Yeah.
disbursements, which I'm gonna guess is like total amount of like allotted fundraise money or whatever. $12 million. But surprisingly, second is the Vivek Ramaswamy dude.
Ooh, okay. So yeah, so disbursements would be like how much you're spending.
Mike
So,
Pence is only at $1 million. Chris Christie's only at $1 million. How?
wow, Ron DeSantis getting a lot of money.
A lot of money, dude. And you know,
Lot
it's
of
got to
money.
be big hedge funds. Like people with the money are giving these candidates money so they can be in their pocket if they get elected. You know what I mean? Like companies are picking the next president based on, okay, if I give them money now to go for president, maybe they'll help me out if I get into a lawsuit, or if I
Yeah,
need
maybe pick-
government money, if I need to get a loan or something.
Yeah, and they can definitely lead some laws like down certain paths, like like with the Bitcoin or the oil companies,
Yeah, this next
drilling.
election is going to be huge because we've opened up the borders, we've outsourced for oil more, and we have options to do it at home. We have there's a way we can tighten up things here in America, and
It's a very dangerous spot we're at with those things because I'm kind of something we're going to lead into later with the BRICS and oil, but
okay,
definitely something
this is
to
a
talk
good
about.
time. This is a good time to get into it. So this is the dollar narrative behind the dollar is that it's crashing eventually. But if you look at the chart lately, everyone thought it was crashing. We were stuck in this channel here, and it broke below the lower support of this channel, right around $99.
Oh, wow.
Everyone was thinking it was going to keep going lower because once you break this support, you're kind of in discovery to see how far it will go. But now it's broken out of the upper support, and we're sitting in the 105 range. So long term on the dollar, bearish. But right now the dollar is strong, meaning that other stocks, commodities, gold, silver, Bitcoin are going to be depreciated, meaning they're going to be cheaper. So usually you buy crypto when the dollar is high and larger than $100 because that's good discounts on them because it fluctuates. It's inverse, which is pretty cool. So, a giant dog, tell us about the BRIC system and how much they hate the US dollar and they don't want any part of it when they do their trade.
I feel like it's like yeah. So like you said, it's been bearish for a while, the dollar, and the thing is we as dollar users in America are just so in debt with like how much our country is like spent and everything. And who's gonna invest more in someone who's been in debt for so long. Like, yes, we're, yeah, like you can owe some money and still be making some powerful moves, and we are, but it's like it's not something. I don't know. It's not worth celebrating, really, unless we
No, it's
were
not.
making some
I
positivity.
think about it all the time. Is there any way of resetting this debt? Or no? Are we always going to be in debt? Is there a way we can sell our debt for goods and serve? Like, we're going to keep printing money. This number has continued to go up since, hear me out. There's a really good book out there that every new investor should read. And it's about gold backed the U.S. dollar. And then around 1970, when Nixon was president,
Yeah.
they debacked the dollar, so it wasn't backed by anything. So now it's not backed to anything, and now it's just inflationary, and we print a bunch of it, and the dollar value, or how much we can actually get with the dollar, goes down. So 10, 15 years ago, you hear your parents say, like, oh, back in my day, I was able to buy this Snickers for 10 cents, and now it's $3. And that's inflation, and that's the U.S. dollar, and us going in debt. It's all working together. Dude, the numbers are ridiculous here. U.S. total national assets, 193 quadrillion. U.S. millionaires, 23 million. That's what
Yeah, it
we're
doesn't
in
even
for.
matter. And you think they
Savings
do?
per family.
What is it? They do have because every year they have to decide the new debt ceiling, or I think maybe it's just they decide once they like reach, like once they get to like the new debt ceiling that they allow, like everyone has to make like new laws and there's packages that everyone has to agree on, or like within a certain date, or else everything just gets frozen. And like the thing is that's been happening for like so many years now with all the debt and stuff. It's almost like the boy who cried wolf, right? Like, when is this going to happen? It's never going to happen because if Congress shut down everything that the government was doing, it would just be absolutely impossible for America to run.
Yeah, and it brought up a good question I just Googled here. Is like, will the U.S. ever lower the debt ceiling? Like, come out and be like, all right, debt ceiling's so high, we're going to try to drop it down a couple trillion. Why there's not enough ways. This is kind of all macroeconomic type stuff. And even here it says their options, if they wanted to lower it, they could suspend the debt ceiling through March 31st, 2024, or raise it by 1.5 trillion. Like, oh, let's just raise it by 1.5 in exchange for a total of 4.8 trillion in 10-year policy savings. It seems like there's
So it's like they have to decide. Wait, and this House passed because this is what they did. Right, they raised it, and then they're like, "All right, but we have plans to save this X amount of money, or stop spending this amount of money in 10 years."
It's like, even though you raise that debt ceiling, you pay for raising it because now you're going in more debt. So now, in exchange, you're paying 4.8 trillion 10-year policy savings.
No, that's what they're trying to save. So it's like to get all of Congress to agree to do the 1.5 trillion raise, they had to agree on a plan where they're going to save 4.8 trillion in the next 10 years. Gotcha. So it's like they have to agree, like, oh, we're going to spend less, and that's their savings. It's not a
4.8 trillion.
It's not necessarily something where it's like, oh, we're not going to spend the money. It's just they're just going to spend the money slower.
I gotcha, and they're going to halt it from rising. So that would bring us back down below $100 trillion would be around.
Yeah, but it's not really gonna bring us below because it's like, okay, so like 4.5 in 10 years.
Yeah.
How much is 1 year? Like
True.
10 million? Like 20? Like,
you're right. It's a fraction of that. It's $1 million a year or something.
Yeah, it's like.
All right, so now we go into the BRICS, and now the BRICS is looking at the U.S. dollar and also believing the narrative that it's going to go to zero as well. That because since it was debacked with gold, that there's nothing to keep a dollar 1-1. There's nothing tied to it. So the BRIC system is comprised of Argentina, Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Who else we got, dog?
Wow. India's not there.
Brazil, Russia, India,
Brazil,
China,
Russia.
South Africa.
Oh, Egypt's in there. I think those ones you're showing right now. Those are like the big Middle Eastern
These are
ones
the
that they just
big
went
one,
over.
2, 3, 4, 5. These are the big dogs.
Because it's like if everyone's doing the dollar, and then like, okay, well, who do we owe this much money to? It's China. It's other uh, Middle Eastern countries that are giving us oil.
Yeah, it seems like it ties back to oil. So what's the drama with the whole BRICS thing?
The drama is it's
Yeah.
basically all of our enemies joining forces, which is scary
Ah,
for us.
okay. And going against what we set in place with the U.S. dollar for trade.
I mean, granted, what was it? It all started a couple years ago. I forget exactly what country we pulled out of, but like we pulled out of that like Middle Eastern, like I don't know exactly if it was Iran, but it was like one of those countries, and we pulled out, and then one of the like it was either Russia or China, and one of them came in and actually like made peace among like the two groups of like the Middle Eastern like peoples. Like I don't know if
Okay.
it's exactly the
Okay.
Taliban or whatever, but like it stopped whatever they did stopped like fighting, which is something we wanted to do but like couldn't. So it's impressive that they were able to do that, and then they did that. So right, and then now years later, now it's becoming a more popular like stone cemented thing.
Yeah, timeout. I think we just shed some light on what the brick system is. They say it's just for because the U.S. dollar or whatever. I think you're
Yeah.
totally right. This could be way bigger than what we believe. Listen to this. Since 2012, the BRICS group of countries have been planning an optical fiber submarine communications cable system
Oh
to
yeah.
carry telecommunications between the BRICS countries, known as the BRICS cable. Part of the motivation for the project was for spying on the U.S. National Security Agency and all telecommunications that flowed in and out of the United States territory.
Yeah. There's a lot of spy stuff that's going on.
But they want to know about us. They're trying to get into our infrastructure and trying to plan something. All these countries against us. That's light right there.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't send balloons over us for no reason.
Yeah. But then we'll cover it up and say it was just some kid's birthday.
I mean, yeah. Granted, we're doing the same thing. Like from space, we're checking stuff out. Everyone's looking at stuff.
True, we got the drones, whatever, but
A lot of people know more than they should.
true, and we're just trying to break it all down and educate everyone on what could be coming down in the future.
What was it? Oh, it was like the stuff. Remember when like stuff was leaked? I don't know when it was leaked. It was leaked like maybe like a few months ago. It was like that one of the reports or something from us. Like it was like a big U.S. documents, and like one of the things I remember from it was like that we have like spies in Russia's like top
Oh yeah,
echelon or something.
you're right.
You know, along with a bunch of other like money spending stuff and how we're actually like losing in Ukraine. It's like the numbers aren't as good as they were like told to us.
Ooh, Pentagon Papers. Anyway,
And like
it's a whole-
who's fighting in Ukraine? Like we do have boots on the ground, like it's guaranteed, and so do they. Like we're at war.
and how many $1 billion have we funded them in cryptocurrency we've given them to support them and fundraise them and help them buy weapons that could be turned around and pointed at us.
It is true. An interesting thing with the crypto and BRICS and everything is so they're trying to shy away from the dollar,
Mhm.
which gives more increase for crypto or I mean any other currency they have, but they'd have to mix theirs together. Really, I feel like it'd be tough to pick one. They're not all going to agree to have Russia's currency or all to have like
That brings up like
maybe all of China.
how to transfer yen to ruble in crypto. Ready? Let's just look at this
Yeah.
for a second.
They could just easily make that seamless as well.
With crypto, like it's as easy as, all right, I have yen I'm trying to give you ruble. I take my yen, sell it for USD, or I take my yen and I just convert it to yours and then send it to you. That's the goal, at least.
Yeah, to make it just like instant.
And now we're talking here in the U.S. and crypto is a global thing. And Russia, India, they have some of the largest shares of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency holdings, and they're more pro and heavily regulating crypto more than the U.S. So in the U.S., we don't think even crypto is going to be a thing. It's a bunch of naysayers, just like degens, that crypto is going to, like a bunch of kids who cried wolf, and Bitcoin will never be anything. But just wait. Just wait, and all these countries are going to capitalize on it, and if the U.S. government doesn't start regulating it and adopting it, then we're going to lose out. And at least the money that hardworking blue-collar people like us should be making and exposed to, they try to cover it up, and they're trying to keep people out. That's why this isn't on the news. That's why we're going over it now.
Yeah.
So this one article I found, Johnny, was very pro the BRICS is going to use their native currencies and did not bring up any kind of crypto thing, but also said that the national currencies might not work. It was going to be discussed if that could be feasible. And how would you do that conversion with your native currency is the underlying question. And then you have this paper here, BRICS currency will be very hard to deliver. Yes, this is from Cointelegraph, so who knows how accurate it is. But here it says, backing a fractional reserve banking system with gold only works temporarily because the currency units multiply more quickly than the gold does. So they're saying their national currency, yen or ruble, will be backed with gold, or that's their plan to do. That's what BRICS was hyping up. But they're saying that's not a smart idea because it didn't work for the United States with Nixon, and it won't be a long-term solution.
I feel like the problem is with trying to back by gold. It's like, okay, you could do, like a 1 gram to $1 ratio gold, or you could do even make it like less and less and less. But then it's like, if you're making it less and less and less, and it's not 1-to-1, or it's not whatever ratio you start with, then you're basically just doing inflation anyway, and you're basically just making the dollar not worth the gold anyway. And the thing is, too, is if you're a country and you're running out of money, like let's say, like, yes, the U.S., right? We couldn't do backed by gold. Mm-hmm. We would have no gold. Like, what? We just owe you gold?
True.
And it's like, like we just owe everyone all of our debt is just.
And then also gold fluctuates in value too.
Yeah, and then there's talk. Yeah, because I remember like people are like super heavily into gold, right? Mm-hmm. But then there's talk of like people being able to make gold, like manufacture kind of just like chemically, because we're just scientific enough to be able to do that. Is also one of the fears, because there's enough gold right now to do things you want to do with gold, like using them for electronics, using them for whatever. Like, it's not like there's a gold shortage, like it's there. But once you start being, gold is literally what makes you rich, then people are going to find ways to.
True. So yeah, this article here was like, crypto's value is vague. There's no definite, distinct, or standard mechanism to set its exchange rate to. They're saying you can't pin like your yen to just China and say like all the yen in that asset class is China's money, because you and I can have $1 million of yen, but it's not representing how much asset that the yen like and China has. So maybe there needs to be regulation that if you're in China, you can buy yen. Like us in the United States, we can't buy yen, we can't be euro unless we're over there or something. I don't know, but there's going to be a lot of supervision with this crypto if it does get regulated they can see all of our transactions now. So yeah. And if they are asking for capital gains, I'd pay them. I'm not facing those repercussions.
It's very true. I guess just, the stores in each country just deal with the one currency. It's too much effort to have dollar bills and ruble and yen all
So
in your cash
everything
register.
is online transfer now of billions of dollars. Even when the U.S. sent $7 billion to Ukraine for support or whatever, it's all electronic. But what are the fees for such a high amount of money? And is there a better way of moving that money without the fees?
Right.
That's the question. So I think that wraps up our BRICS conversation. This is very crucial on the development of this world and what our future leaders are and what happens here in America. So just shedding some light on what's going on there. You have some other payment rails as well. There's this SWIFT system that we could look into another time. But we're going to move on to video games and pay to earn crypto games. Kind of crazy idea. During the last bull run, there was some better looking games that came out with functionality and kind of a little bit more exciting. But the question is, a giant dog, will there be any mainstream games that get sold out that there's a craze for? Will any of the mainstream games that aren't crypto now, will they adopt this crypto earnings platform? Will it be hard to integrate? What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are it's tough. There needs to be like some value in the game because you look at it like in-game money, and you could just imagine in-game money, just like people use dollars to buy like just like quickly V-Bucks, just like for Fortnite. It's like there's an in-game currency, and then because if the in-game currency can easily be, because the problem is you need to put a set amount of worth on the in-game currency for it to be able to manifest into like Bitcoin or dollars or any kind of currency.
Yeah.
It needs to be judged by either it's going to be judged by rarity of like how rare something is, and the value is always going to change.
Mm-hmm.
And then as the game's popularity decreases or increases, that in-game currency is going to be tested.
It changes with it. I see what you're saying. So how video games are now, we've all known this, and we're older. We're almost 30 now. So we've been through waves of different games that get the most attention, and it's a phase. All video games are phases. So Johnny, you have a great point. When this video game loses its stardust, its like attraction, that tokenomics behind it in cryptocurrency is gonna be affected by that game kind of getting burnt out. So
exactly. And point. I think so for that reason, I feel like it'd be very hard to be like, oh, like that's why things in game are not, that's why there's such a thing as in-game currency, so that it's not dollars, it's not whatever it is, and that's not because the game is all around the world. It's because it would be, you have to change the prices way too often. Like with this, you keep the price the same and then you just change the rate, right?
So would you think it's a good time during this bear market now to get into one of these crypto earning games? Because hear me out before I let you go, because I know you're big into your video games. Because they're so new, is there more upside because there isn't awareness and people really haven't even given it a shot yet, and maybe with the next bull run there'll be more hype? And it sounded like you dropped like that rarity part to it, like in Fortnite, if you get a skin, does that have a value on it? And then you can trade skins and boots and swords, and will that also be wrapped around the whole play to earn part of the game, which is interesting. But do you think it's a good idea to get into these new crypto earning games that are coming out, and will it be profitable in the future?
All right, so I think with that, right, so new game, don't know how popular it's going to get, don't know what it's going to do, but because you're getting in early, if you get in early, get some rare stuff, because that's the thing, is you need the rare stuff. The rare stuff is the only way you're really going to make money, because, like, yes, like people on there's like World of Warcraft, right? Like super grindy game, MMO, been out for years. You can buy accounts for like like $50, $100 of like someone who's grinded enough, right? So like for me, when you ask me this, I'm just thinking, oh, where have I seen money in gaming? Like they're intertwined already. So it's like, what does this mean when you add Bitcoin and other things to it? And the real thing is it doesn't. I feel like it doesn't change too much. All it does is it hypes up like the buying and selling of things, where it's like maybe because you're using Bitcoin and you're like they're projecting it as a play to earn that more people are going to be into the buying and selling of things. And
It's more of a marketplace, but it also sounds like NFTs kind of incorporated in here. And even in some of these top games here, it's like real estate play to earn game with land offered as NFTs. So like the rarity part and the value could be distinct from the actual game. But like you said, the game would have to be like a World of Warcraft, Dungeons and Dragons, Skyrim, like one of the games that never dies per se, and that value, like a Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh, and
yeah,
maybe that was like the Bored Ape thing that came out. Will Bored Ape have a game because all those celebrities bought into Bored Apes now? Bored Apes are still going for hundreds of thousands of dollars, even though we're in a bear market. It's
Hmm.
crazy. Those are like the monkey
Yeah,
NFTs with the different
I
attributes
got
and
you.
hats, sunglasses, whatever. So,
Yeah,
interesting
and it's
topic here.
yeah, like some of it's gonna be collector's item as well.
Hmm.
And then the thing is though is like with anything, it's like with these things, the time you put in is unless you're getting something rare, it's like the time you put in is gonna be less than
What you're actually
the
going to get
amount you
out of
make
it.
just like doing something regular.
I gotcha. You're better off working a real job than earning a little bit of crypto. But then
Yeah,
you gotta.
like you could definitely like play this for fun, and then boom, if the game pops
It
off,
turns
you
into
know,
something.
you did X
100%.
amount.
I agree there. Where this is more of a hobby. It's something that we've been doing for ourselves, playing video games, just as like an enjoyment thing. So if kids in the future take this opportunity and maybe could get lucky, why not? You know, as long as there's some enjoyable games behind it. So this
Yeah,
number here, this number just it makes you think. It's projecting this video game crypto earning market to go from $4.6 billion to $65.7 billion from 2022 to 2027. That's a lot of money coming into this space.
yeah. Is that
Increasing investments. So people are investing. Even think about Facebook and the whole meta thing. The meta, like, and now there's games on the whole metaverse. Like, well, NFTs. Like, how much will crypto be incorporated from it yet? But our country doesn't like telling us how it will be incorporated. Will it be NFTs? Will it be government documentation like your driver's license as an NFT? We don't know how crypto will be utilized, but we know there's use cases. You know what I mean? So we're investing in potential use cases that will change how we live, how our future generations live. So that's the exciting part. This is just a little ad. I played this Gods Unchained game. I've earned some points here and transferred out and earned some Bitcoin. It's a card game like Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh, and you battle and you fight. You can fight like 10 games a day. The more you win, the more coins you make. And the price of this right now, let's look it up. I think it's just the Gods token, actually. Gods Unchained. It's going to be cheap because we're in a bear market, which is 18 cents. It's not bad. Actually pumped up 17 to 18. But let's go to its total chart. It was up to $6 back in 2021. Just 2 years ago, it was at $6. So if this game has more hype than it did back in 2021, which is only 2 years ago, and this game probably just came out, 18 cents to $6. Play a couple hands of cards if you have some time. Why not? I'm bullish. All right. I know you're excited for our next segment here. The race to space and SpaceX and Elon Musk, how he's became such a leader in multiple different industries, and how his money handed down by his parents in the gem mine industry has flourished into sending rockets into space, making sustainable electric cars, still working on PayPal and Twitter. He's got a Neuralink thing where he wants to put chips in people's brains. There's a lot going on with Elon Musk, but hearing a successful story like this SpaceX NASA ship that went off and it was successful, it's bullish on NASA, space exploration in general for the United States. We've been really committed to space exploration. And what kind of competition do we have out there now, dog? Do you know?
Oh yeah, this actually, back to the Bricks are actually going crazy on the space. Everyone's pushing for it a lot. Space is definitely the new frontier for us to check out. You know, you'd think it'd be the oceans first, but it's definitely space, which seems to be the more.
Yeah. Now, what's the reason for that? Is it land that all the land is being bought up and people just want more, or is it resources or information that we're after? What do you think is the number one reason that people spend so much money to go see what's at a place that we can't live or try to make it livable? There's like an excitement behind that, a realm of possibility, but we've all seen the movie Mars, and I would not want to be in a tent on the moon sleeping.
Yeah, no, it does not seem like that would be more comfortable than living here on Earth. But I think the big thing is us just as a species just needing really just more room to grow. Like if we stay on Earth, it's not us staying on Earth for another like million trillion years is not
It's fine.
the way our species stays alive. It's a finite thing. Like yeah, in my lifetime, your lifetime, no one has to worry about it. But somewhere down the future, you know, we already know that there is an end, and if we don't make moves, it needs to happen. And really, going into the water and the oceans, like yes, you're learning more about like the fish and like certain things, but you're not getting more resources. That is like what you actually, you know, usable stuff that we need. So it's
And
definitely more.
hear this out, J. Rod. Hear this out. Every day, 150,000 people.
Yeah.
Wow, but actually deaths are higher than population growth today. So we're actually losing people. That's sad. That's so sad.
Damn.
Yeah, we're
That's
losing.
like double.
We're losing
What's that?
like 20,000 people a day. That's sad. Damn. Don't look that up. So that's got to be because it's harder to have a kid in these times right now. Not a lot of people our generation and younger, like our grandparents. Like I talk to a lot of people my age, and they're like, "Yeah, when'd your grandparents meet?" And I ask them the same thing, and it's like, "Oh, they met when they were like 12 years old. They got married in high school, started a family, had a kid like right after high school, college, whatever." And it's like, damn, like I'm behind on my life. I'm trying to like, how are they so ready for all that stuff at such a young age? Blows my
Yeah.
mind.
I feel like it's a lot of it's just like the cultural pressure, honestly.
Yeah,
Is
it
like,
is.
you know, just it's not it's cultural pressure plus like climate change turns us away from it. And like I mean it's really just what everyone tells you and what they make you think. Like everyone knows like or if you don't have a kid, you end up having so much extra money that you could have spent like would have spent on the kid, now you're not. So you could do like so many things, not wanting responsibility, not feeling because before I feel like 100 200 years ago we felt as like a people that we need to reproduce like constantly,
Hmm.
and now is like we're seeing these other factors. It's like oh it I want to call them like factors into like why we almost shouldn't reproduce or we should slow it down
Yeah,
or
expenses, like scared for the future, this whole wokeism thing, and do we want to have kids in a climate like this? Oh, time out. What about the COVID thing in general? You know, people did
yeah
get pregnant during COVID, but it kind of scares you, like, to be a parent during a time like that, and like the extra
true.
precautions that your kids go through, and then also everyone becoming a germaphobe during COVID, and now your kid is running around with other kids, and everyone in your family's gonna get sick.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Great.
there was another news article. This just happened a couple days ago, September 7th. India sent up this rover up to the moon, and they detected vibrations or possible earthquake on the moon.
That is very interesting because they don't, there's plates and the mantle, and they taught you all that in
Yeah.
grade school here. But now you think like the moon probably has the same stuff. I would imagine that they have tectonic plates on the moon that you know need to adjust because of tension on the because it's all fluid. Yes, it's all solid, but I mean, there's no that is true. It's like it's weird because earthquakes are all like formed almost by like volcanoes, really.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like, are
Shifting or
there
tectonic plates. Yeah.
yeah, it's like where because like where one goes down and the other one goes above it, and then that the friction is what makes the earthquake. But then there needs to be some heat. There needs to be some energy making that movement happen.
And for our moon to be doing that, it's kind of scary. Cuz don't stars become is the moon a star or a
No,
planet?
the moon is like it's the moons are crazy because moons are really just big asteroids.
Yeah, so will it turn into a dark? Oh, asteroids don't turn into a dark hole though, right?
No,
All right, so we're good. We're good. Stars do though, right?
stars eventually explode. Yeah, over time. And
Exactly.
that's the thing. I think India is also sending a
One to
new.
the sun. That's what I just pulled up here. They
Yeah,
sent
they're
it.
sending
When did they
to
send
the
it?
sun to watch it because the thing is with the solar flares, there
Ooh,
is a moment where the sun is very mysterious in what it does, and we kind of need to be on top of it and like knowing as a race what's going on. Definitely since we do so much with electronics these days, because if a specific solar flare pops, it could shut everything down for
yep,
if not just days, weeks. And
100%.
I
So
don't even
that's
know,
we
I don't
need.
know
Keep going.
the extent of it, if like it breaks things or it just makes them like momentarily not usable.
The heat, short circuits, whatever, electrical transmissions in general. But we need to have better data collection of those flares, the frequencies. When it does spike, what's the change of frequency? You know what I mean? We need to start getting more data on that so we can try to come up with some futuristic outlook on how it'll change, like a global warming type thing. The water's getting warmer percent every year. We can forecast whatever, and then we could take precautions to try to mitigate it if there's anything we can do. I know our
Yeah.
ozone layer is the biggest part of it, that we have a weakening ozone layer because of all the carbon emissions and those flares. Flares got to give off higher UV, and then that UV is getting through the ozone layer too.
Oh yeah. I wouldn't want to be on the beach in the summer
I was
when a
thinking the
solar
same
flare
thing.
rips me up.
And how would we know? We're like, let's go to the beach. Ah, it's too hot. Never mind.
I don't know. It's tough because like if a legit solar flare shot out at like the correct angle at Earth, because they've been shooting out constantly. They're just not, like what are the chances on a massive ball that it's directly like pinpoint us?
Yeah,
But,
but
like,
India is becoming a competitor to the United States,
oh
emerging as
yeah,
a space superpower.
yeah. They did something no one's ever done before with landing on the other side of the moon, which is big.
True.
And I want to say like they're going for this stuff like a little early compared to like SpaceX and Elon Musk, because he's been doing it's more like they're doing stuff fresh and new, and he's doing just like grinding the stuff we kind of already know with like the landing rockets and like resource efficiency and like that stuff. Also, India said, what was it? I know they asked like it was um let's just say it's like the president of like their NASA or like their
Yeah.
science stuff. He's like they were able to make this rocket like super cheap. Like what like it was like
Nice.
it was and then like Russia's rocket was like 2 to 3 times the money.
Probably with concrete bricks in it.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, how'd you do it so cheap? And he's just not giving away the answers. He's like, we can't tell you. Can't have everyone doing it this cheap.
Dude, I'm telling
Which
you.
is interesting because that means
Yeah,
they're still like fighting really.
India's looking good. So on the whole space thing, it makes me think about kind of the recent interest that our population is into UFOs and aliens, and the consistent conversation that we like to have on what do you think? Do you believe? And asking the person at work or friends and family, and think, is it possible? Are there aliens out there? Could these photos be something else? Why'd they release them? Are we holding back more information that should be released to the public? What don't we know? And what could possibly be out there, dog?
Yeah, it's honestly just it's so much to take in with the aliens and the USO
It really
because
is.
then we know enough where it's like we know they're not directly next to us. Like we should know. All right, so it brings me to this: is either there's super amount of like conspiracy and like the government's been hiding stuff from us on like a
Mm.
global scale, like ridiculous like uncovering that we're gonna have in the next 50 to 100 years about aliens.
Yeah.
But the thing, and also is I don't know why they would do this without a reason. Like, why are these random people coming forward if there's just nothing? If that's real,
True. Is it a
you know?
distraction from something else? Are they just trying to fill our heads with the potential that it could be, and how that pulls people away from religion and faith too? Oh, if aliens exist, everything I've been told is a myth. What do you
Yeah,
think about that?
that's I don't know. I still I believe in God, so it's like. But the thing is, I feel like the Bible and other religions too. It's like you can kind of use anything as like a metaphor, or like oh it says this, but it really means like something else, really, in a
Mm.
way to like make it piece together and kind of make sense. And like people need to just work on that for themselves, honestly, because or else
So
they'll just get crazy and not believe.
there's probably something that's extracted from the Bible that is alien-like. I bet there's something in there, but not that I'm aware of going to Sunday school or whatever that I picked up on anything that back then when Jesus was walking around and everyone, or even in recent past history, Romans, whatever, Vikings, like how much alien um, witnessing. Is there any
Mm,
writings, journals, like has past generations also said they've witnessed stuff, and now we're finally like, oh yeah, they exist, or are aliens now just into us and want to learn more about us? Maybe we've developed so far, and now they're curious. Like, have we found something? Maybe that's theirs. Are they more interested in something now?
yeah, we as a species did go crazy in the last 100 years. I'm not gonna lie, like with our technology and doing a lot. So definitely. And you imagine like okay, like aliens far away, they're spying on us. Maybe it takes them like a little more effort to some time to like see what we're doing, and now we're here. But again, that just leads to the government just like hiding crazy stuff from us. I mean, they're hiding something. Like surely there's something about it. The technology and stuff that they gave. If it's not aliens, it's finding other intelligent life that was here before us potentially.
True. How other people have evolved and adapted, and hopefully the problem is we like to conquer everything, and you know what I mean? Look at some of this animal species that we live with now that are going extinct. Are aliens going to look at us as people who kill other animals and stuff like that? Or are they like, it would be really nice if the opportunity came that we partnered with them and that relationship was mutual and not one-sided, because now we're talking about the next world war and destruction, and we're
Yeah,
probably behind on whatever technology they got, if they could fly around in space so fast and do all that crazy stuff.
yeah, that's the biggest thing is the movement through space or potentially what like bioseeding other faraway planets.
Exactly. There was something too. I'm gonna leave it with this thought. You can come back to me or drop a comment if you know, but I'm pretty sure there is some like rare metal or chemical that's not on the periodic table that was founded in like big plots of land, and they marked like this farmland with like this crazy design on it. And like, how would any one human be able to like make that symbol? And underneath that symbol on that farmland was this rare chemical that hasn't really even been found yet. So are they searching for something, or have they found something that we didn't even know was here? And are they trying to tell us like, hey, we need this? Like, I think there's a lot of questions that aren't known, and because we know they exist and we haven't they haven't killed us yet, hopefully it's more mutual, you know?
Yeah, that is the thing. 'Cause if they were hostile, we'd be dead, and we would not have made it this
Exactly.
far without a doubt. So we're either, what is it? We're either they're experimenting and just watching what we do, or
All right, last question.
too much.
If you saw an alien, what what language would it speak?
What language would it speak? That's tough. That's tough. I imagine.
Konnichiwa.
I don't know. It either knows all languages or it's telling me telepathically
Oh,
what
that
it
would
wants
be
me to
pretty
know.
strange. It's like
Got them.
syncing. It's like, what language are you speaking? I'm speaking English. Like, it's syncing up to what we speak. Yeah, that'd be wild, but not something you want to dream about. There's better things in the economy to come on the horizon that we got to think and plan for. Make sure to check out A Giant Dog's page. He comes out with some hot gaming content. And jump in our Discord for more content and videos. We'll be on streaming around the blockchain with the BitBoy Crypto guys again on the 16th of September. So maybe see you guys there. All right, that'll end this one.
Hell yeah. Solid sesh.
That was a great sesh, dude. Great speaking, man. You were freaking spot on.
Was it hype?
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. Just how you went in depth about it, and you finished the conversation or like the talking point very well, answered all the questions. That was incredible. That was smooth.
Yeah, that was fun. I was a little worried because I'm like, I don't know, like super amount about like what we're necessarily
Yeah,
talking
it's
about.
almost like just in the heat of the moment, gun to your head, you pull up something that is relevant or relates, and you're like, oh, maybe I knew more than I thought.
Yeah, random thing I know. That goes
Stuff,
crazy.
J-Rye.
That was
All
fun.
right. Do you want to chill in here for the XRP and the safe investment ones? These will be shorter, hopefully just under 10 minutes.
I could chill. What are you doing?
I'm
Or I
just
could
gonna-
make food.
Yeah, you can make food for a minute. I'm going to prep little XRP tabs and then go into what kind of... bringing up the Roth IRA was a great idea too. I love how you injected that.
Yeah, I randomly thought about that shit. I mean, it was like weird the way there's no capital gains on the Bitcoin. I feel like that, honestly, I feel like that won't last.
Yeah, almost like Biden going like, you don't have to pay student loans, but we're going to end up paying for it in taxes anyway. Like he's
Right,
just-
yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's one of
I
those
mean,
things,
yeah,
you're going to pay for it one way or the other.
you killed the point. Whenever we talked about it, you said whatever I just said.
Yeah, I
in a
kind of
different way.
opened it up. I was like, hold on, this sounds good initially, but is it really? Yeah, go get some food. Let me throw this together.
I'm chilling. I might have to cook. I'm wondering, like, are you... So you're just going to keep streaming?
Yeah, I'm chilling.
All right.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
Decide what I want to do. I need to make food. I need to cook. It could take me like 20 minutes.
All right,
So
so
what should
you
we
want
go?
me to either throw this together quick or you go cook? That's the question.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'll just go cook. You kind of
Yeah, go cook. Go cook.
do your thing. I'm streaming right now. I'm gonna just keep streaming whatever you're doing.
Nice. Do you want me to turn your camera off while you go?
Maybe, unless you just want my freaking empty thing, or when I come back, I could say something. In chat, maybe.
I guess we could leave it, or could you like just put something over your camera, make it black?
Let me do that. I feel like it'd be easier to put something over my camera, like just move, like, see on the OBS, just like move the collab cam like down, and then it'll hide me.
True. Done. Good idea. All right, J-Rod, go chef it up.
Yeah, let me go chef that. And I'll chill.
New mega deal. Love that. Ripple. IPO and where to get shares.
Alright.
Need some water.
I want to hear him talk.
Huh?
I think it's fine.
We're good.
I will return in a bit. God's food. My guy's not here either. We can't both go AFK. The fuck?
There he is.
He's back. I'm back.
Interesting.
Pushing penis. Yeah, I think so. Okay. Oh, hello.
Hello.
Oh, Joe can hear me.
Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm. How much longer are you gonna be live, Joe?
You got like 2 10-minute videos here, and then we're done. Unless you want to just play games and keep going. I'm chilling.
Got you.
Like, we could literally just keep streaming, but then you play Toontown, and I jump in yours or something.
Yeah.
Pretty cash money.
That's wild. And then we need end of lawsuit. Wow.
Alright, so I think I'm gonna play some Rocket League for a bit.
I'll
For
give
my
you
Smite thing later.
I'll give you one game and then come back here for the video.
Okay.
Now, here, just run the video real quick. I already got XRPs done, and then
Alright, I kinda need my cam for my stream, so I think I'm gonna leave.
Rocket Pro.
what?
And then I might be in like my Discord. Or I'll invite you to something soon, Joe.
No. I want you to ask questions.
Oh yeah.
I'm almost done. Investment accounts, anything? Oh, and then the QQQ. There we go. Alright, I think I'm ready, bro. How do you like them apples?
Okay.
We'll do a little walkthrough like we did before. Give you some talking points to think about. Is this the QQQ? Yeah.
Alright.
Bum, 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 bum.
Did you know?
Sarah, you also totally. Just when I look at it. You know.
Alright, I'm gonna share the
Okay.
stream one more time. See if we get some XRP people in here. XRP is a freaking cult, let me tell you. Yeah.
Yo, what up, Panther Claws?
Pause is here. Alright, Johnny, so we're gonna go this one, intro to the
So.
I'm gonna change this.
Yeah, Panther Claws. I do have cam today. I'm just doing like kind of a weird thing on stream. I'll show you in a second.
We're getting all weird, right?
$25.
Nice. Oh, it's not even. Yeah.
Noticed you were going for that boost, and I was like, nope. And then I should have turned around, just went for it.
Yeah, I got you.
Yo, your gamer tag is just a giant dog, right?
And then the one will go.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And you just send it in it?
I don't know.
Or
Order.
It's kind of tough for me with the audios here. I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna leave. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna eat and chill.
What? Dude, we're about to record.
okay.
Come on, give me 10 minutes.
I don't even know Bitcoin.
It's XRP, you're fine. Yeah, I just need someone to be devil's advocate.
Aw, I read that shit.
Okay.
Ready? Alright, I'm gonna record in 3, 2, 1. Let's get it. What's going on, everybody? It's the Crypto Hound here at it again. Taking my time in this weekend to give everybody a little update and shed some light on where this crypto market is. We got a special guest today, a giant dog, bringing in the spicy content. Say what up, dog.
What up, guys? How y'all doing? It's fine evening, afternoon, morning, whenever y'all are chilling watching this.
Let's get it. And honestly, anyone else out there who wants to jump in and record a video with me, I'd love to have someone out there just be devil's advocate and bring up what someone else is thinking about crypto and not just my own thoughts. All right, I like a little argument, a little back and forth. So we're going to do 2 segments today. We're going to go over easy way of investing. If you're trying to keep it simple, if you're a newbie to this, you're just getting in, don't know if it's a good time to buy in or not, we're going to give you a easy plan to not make it jump through a bunch of obstacles. All right, there's a couple great opportunities out there for you guys just to get exposed to this. We'll tell you do's and don'ts, some lifetime experience, and get you on the way to investing and making wealth and gains towards financial freedom, baby. Let's go. All right, so let's do easy investing first. So Johnny, when I say easy investing, what comes to your mind?
Easy investing is simply I take my money, I put it somewhere, and it's going up.
Facts. There's a little bit of interest there. There's either a dividends that it's going to continually compound and grow, and you don't need to look at it. Like, a lot of people want to invest, but they don't want to have to look at it every day. Totally understand. So I pulled up some of the top exchanges here that you can get into this. You got TD Ameritrade, and they have like a Thinkorswim practice account you could even start with. Robinhood, we don't like. Robinhood doesn't give you your crypto addresses if you do decide to invest in crypto through Robinhood. It is a nice platform, but I'm not a big fan. Government is definitely in there hands in hands with Robinhood. One that I would suggest is Acorn. I just found out about this. You invest your money and then you purchase stuff with an Acorn credit card, and it'll give you money back into your investments. So it'll give you a certain percentage back, and you get to put it in one of your investments of your choice. So you could check out this Acorn one. It's kind of neat. Acorn, maybe sponsor me, and I'll keep on putting some light on you. Let's stick to best trading tactics here. So when you're thinking simple, you want to think ETF, and now you have the S&P and the Dow that have been around forever. and they've always gone up is the history of it. And you have a group of stocks that are made up of the Dow and the S&P, and you could easily type in stocks that are in the Dow, stocks that are in the S&P, and see if these are stocks you want to align yourself with. I want to shed some light on 2 of these ETFs. They're newer. There's commercials out about them. It seems like they have a lot of money to spend during this bear market, and the price action is still doing very well. So long-term gains here, I think you can be very comfortable in this QQQ ETF, as well as the SPY. Now, these are more expensive stocks to get into, and that's because a lot of people are comfortable with putting their money here. So it has a very high market cap. So the good thing is you can buy half shares. You don't need to buy $445 worth, but you can slowly work up $5 a day, $5 a week, $5 a month to get you one full share of SPY. That could end up being over $1,000 the next bull run. All right? And again, it's not something you check every day. We're not worried about the next run. We're worried about the 10, 40 years when we're looking at retirement. We're thinking easy. We don't want to be hands-on. We just want simple. And we want gains out of it too. So that's why I suggest these 2. Maybe you'll see some more gains out of it. Their ETF folder and the stocks that are in there are, I think they have a better outlook in the future at least. So these are 2 that I would look into more than others. J-Ry, any other kind of easy investment tips that you would give anyone?
Yeah, easy investment is, I know a big strategy people are using these days is to follow like top celebrities and like what they're investing in, what they're really just like getting behind.
I wrote it down in my workbook here. It's called Boars Finance. We're gonna look that up right now. Someone just told me about this at work the other day, and it tracks.
Oh yeah, it's the app, right?
Portfolio.
I think I heard about that too.
Yeah, this is a big one. I gotta pin this one.
Because that's just kind of like, it's not necessarily like super safe, but I feel like it's slightly riskier than if you're gonna do just what do they call? It's like when they do like a bunch of like popular things together, or like popular
the ETF type thing. But then they're only like Buzz. This is another ETF, but I wouldn't suggest this for simple people because this is more of a phase. And the cool thing about this stock, this Buzz FanX Social whatever, it was made by the guy from Barstool, and it rotates whatever the top trending stocks are on Reddit or in social media altogether. That's what it invests in. So it rotates every month or every quarter into the top 25 most hyped investments or stocks out there. So I think could be a huge one if you buy in now or at these lows, that once the gears start shifting and turning after that presidency and we start getting into the bull run, that this stock is going to align itself with a group of stocks that will do very, very well, because that's what this stock is meant to do. In a bear market, you're not going to see a lot of gains because it's comprised out of a lot of stocks that are all doing But when it's grouped out of the top stocks that are overperforming, I think it has a huge potential, big ceiling over here. It's crazy that the Barstool guy made that. So a couple different types of investment accounts. So when you go to your TD Bank or Wells Fargo, Fidelity to set up these accounts, you have a normal stock account. And the stock account, you'll have to pay taxes when you sell. So it may get in your head that, I don't want to sell, I'm just going to keep holding. But then you don't capitalize on gains. Boom, we just taught you something right there. So something that Dog likes here is a Roth IRA. Dog, you want to break down this Roth IRA a little bit?
Yeah, it's one of the few strongholds the government kind of gives you to hold your money in. I feel like there's almost really not a downside to it. I don't think they hold your money. Like, okay, so the way it works is you put your money in it, and then you at the end of it, when you're like 60-ish years old, you're allowed to
Yeah.
take it out without getting any capital
Exactly.
gains
There's
tax.
something you can take out the same amount you put in a year. So if you put in 1,000, you can take out 1,000 of the existing money or whatever. There's something like that there still
Yeah.
is a way to take it out, but you can't take all of it out until you're
And
59.
you're only
or
allowed
whatever.
to put in like so much. I think the number is like 6,500 you can put in a
Yeah,
year.
it's like 6 to 8. Exactly.
And then yeah, like you said, so you let's say I put in, like 20,000 over, X amount of years, maybe like 5 or 10 years. And then it like grew, so it's going to grow at whatever rate it does, so let's say now you have like 25. But if you wanted to take out the 20, you're not going to spend capital gains. But if you want to take anything else that's extra or profit from the Roth IRA, then you do pay the taxes.
So there's another option here, Johnny. This mutual fund. I'm even thinking for myself, why not?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's what the mutual fund is. That's a bunch of different like stocks, really,
Yeah, I feel
that
like
are
it's
all.
instead of investing into stocks you choose, you're just investing into a mutual fund, which is like your Dow or whatever. It'd be kind of cool if you can customize your own mutual fund and be like, I want to invest in these top 25, and you get to pick
There,
all
yeah,
that 25 stocks. That'd be kind of wild.
there are different ones. I actually had like a big conversation with a guy who was setting up like life insurance for me and like other kind of funds like this, like this year, earlier this year.
Okay.
And it's like the American mutual fund is like one thing. Like these different companies that help you like find out like where to invest in.
Yeah.
There are different types of mutual funds. Some are just more popular than others, and
Okay.
you know,
Probably different buying prices.
either because of
different ages.
safety
around.
and obviously profits is the big.
True, that's what everyone's in it for. And also time is the big part. And that's why we're out here trying to shed some light on this, because the average age that you start investing is 40 years old. So if you're in before 40, you're ahead of the curve. So we're trying to shed some light on this and tell everyone out there it's never a bad time to invest. There is better buy-in opportunities than others, but if you're not invested, just the exposure and to educate yourself on a way of preserving your money and your assets and all the money that you're working hard for, so it doesn't just depreciate with the dollar and the economy and all the crazy expensive everything is out there right now. Economy's trying to strip us clean right now. So setting yourself up for this next bull run and living simpler and still enjoying life, but make sure you're investing so you're ready for that next run. And then hopefully you could live a little bit easier after. That's the goal of all this. You could give back to your family that helped you. That's why we're doing this. That's why
Peace
we're
of
investing. Dang, QQQ, juicy, man. Broke out, it's hitting this. Broke through the 786 range. It's at the 1 range. If it breaks through that again, it's on the way up. But maybe it'll get pushed down here. We'll see. It's bullish, though. It's bullish. We'll see. It sounds like the CPI data in the government is going to stop raising interest rates within like a month or 3. So that may be bullish for the economy, hopefully.
Yeah,
It's been really boring.
they need some new laws to pass to mix things up, and they're coming. We're due.
What law do you think gets passed first?
Definitely not the no gains on this, but maybe they just need to like decide how they want to regulate it better. Like, yeah, there does need to be some capital gains tax or something on, like it needs to be treated like a regular stock almost. But
Yep. So, yeah, any news in just regulation I feel like is good, because hedge funds are already like their hands in the cookie jar, but they haven't taken a bite of the Bitcoin yet. They're dabbling with it, but they haven't like went all in yet. And when hedge funds, and you're talking trillions of dollars, cross-border payments in the BRICS and SWIFT system is like $27 trillion. If that starts coming over and flowing into crypto, that's game over.
Hmm.
That's what we're waiting for, and just waiting for the U.S. to kind of adopt it. But everywhere around the world is already adopting it, regulating it, and making it safe for people in their country to invest in, and are trying to educate. I think El Salvador just started an elementary school like Bitcoin learning course that they're teaching kids
Really?
about Bitcoin and finances at the young age of elementary.
That is interesting. That's the
Right?
kind of stuff I didn't get.
Right? But now look at us. We're talking about cryptocurrency, and we're like, why didn't we learn about this sooner? So that's going to wrap up this segment, just going over the easiest way to invest. Just trying to encourage all new investors out there or people that have been working and looking for their money to work for them a little bit more. So thank you, Dog, for breaking it down with us today. We're going to jump into our XRP video, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Signing on.
All right, XRP, do a little quick rundown. I got all the tabs open. Let's get this price chart of XRP up so it's all ready to go. Boom. Look at that. Love it. All right. Record.
Game time.
What's up, everybody? It's the Crypto Hound here, still at it. We're going to go over XRP latest news and some TA price action. We got a giant dog with us today that's been really beneficial for the stream, just keeping the banter going and keeping the conversation and asking all the hard questions that you at home are probably asking. So if you're looking to get invested in cryptocurrency, you could use the Coinbase link on my YouTube channel in the About section. And if you're looking for a safe place to keep your crypto, you have the Ledger Live link that's in the About section as well. That was the reason I got into crypto, because I knew if I held it on that ledger, no one else could touch it. An exchange collapse couldn't take and steal my crypto. So that little extra certainty and getting into this very dark and unknown place, it goes a long way. And of course, me and the giant dog, we're here to help you along the way. I'm going to shed some light on XRP today. So, a giant dog, how we doing, and how you feeling about XRP lately?
What is up? So we got the graph for XRP right out in front of us.
Yeah.
I'm-
This is back 21 here when it hit like $1.84, and now we're touching this bottom channel of this triangle here that it's
Okay.
forming.
Yeah, it's kind of mellowing out almost. Like you thought it was dropping, and now it's kind of it's thinking about not dropping.
Right? Like
And I feel like you're still waiting on the what was it? It was under the it was in court, right?
yeah,
figuring all
court
that out.
case. It came
That's
out
finished.
like September, and they said it's not a security, which is great. They can't flip that or change that ruling. So that's a huge plus for XRP. But the only problem is the SEC is appealing the decision, and they want to look at the IPO listing that was like when Ripple first came out, and they want to say that wasn't allowed, and they're trying to get some money from this case. They're not trying to lose it altogether. The SEC is trying to win these cases, and XRP and their lawyers are just doing a very good job. So this is going to kick the can down the road potentially another year till we hear about this appeal. But the question is, can XRP be suppressed any lower, or is it just running out of time before it breaks out? With institutional investments coming in, with all these exchanges relisting XRP, there's been a lot of bullish news since that breakout, but we haven't seen a lot of price action follow through. So will we see a pump in the near future as we close in this triangle here?
Yeah, it's got to go
That's the
somewhere.
question. It's got to go somewhere. You're right. And a theory I usually go by is if it touches this bottom support line more, then it has a higher percentage chance of breaking to the lower side. And I've seen that play out that way multiple times. And again, this is not financial advice. And like the dog said, it could go up or down. But the fact that it is kept on touching this line here, I could totally see it break down. And now
It
if
goes
it
low.
starts to come up and ride this upper resistance before it gets to this breakout point, then maybe it's feeling more bullish. Maybe it's primed for a breakout. It's just been suppressed this whole time. But it does look like we could see a drop here. Will it go back into accumulation range below the 40-cent level is the question. Should you invest now at a 50-cent XRP or wait? And will it ever get to this 25-cent range? And Johnny, What do you say? Would you invest now just in case this shot up to $3 tomorrow, or would you wait and try to get that discount at 25 cents but still have a chance at missing out altogether?
It is tough, and it
That's a
peaks.
tough decision.
It's. I feel like I would. I'm a little too unsure right now. I would probably wait and then
Okay.
see what it does, like past that point.
Yeah, when it gets
Almost
to the
like
end
it.
of this triangle here, see if it breaks out or breaks down.
Yeah,
And
because
even if it breaks down, that's a good buy. And break up, then you're like, man, I wish I'd got in earlier.
Yeah, you're looking for like the reason it would do it, and I don't feel like there's a ton of like now that it's past everything. I don't see there being a ton of reason it would go down like randomly rapidly.
Yeah, what's pushing it down? What news is gonna come out that?
It would, yeah. For me, I only think the only news that would come out is maybe there's like a more popular option than
Okay.
XRP, like that is doing the same thing XRP wants to do.
Yeah, we got.
But
some
even if it
competitors
is,
in
I feel like
space.
you're gonna have the multiple options anyway, so it won't be too much of a downside on it. Like you still have it, you could still move it around as well. Like this
100%.
is
And I think competition's good because it's almost like when you go to the grocery store and there's one cash register there. There's 30 cash registers at the grocery store, but only one is open. And you're just like, this is ridiculous. You got to walk all the way to that cash register. You got to funnel in line and wait. But wouldn't it be better if there was multiple cash registers open, and meaning that it was just more efficient? So I think it's a good thing that there is competitors to XRP like XLM, Quant. I don't know if you could call Ethereum a competitor, but now that they're ETH 2.0 and more sustainable and less gas fees, maybe they are. But I think having more options for hedge funds and traders is a good thing, and will keep the network more liquid. There'll be less downtimes, there'll be less hacks, and even if there is any disruption on these blockchains, it'll be minuscule. Then just imagine Bitcoin was the only cryptocurrency and everything affected, like everything that happened in the world affected Bitcoin directly and all the holders. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like there's higher chances of you becoming a millionaire if you get Dogecoin at 6 cents and then it takes off, or Shiba Inu, than if you do and get Bitcoin. You know what I mean? It's good to diverse a little bit just for that competition level. You don't know which one's going to win the race here. You really don't.
yeah, definitely more profitable to get in early than to fight for something.
So let's get more into the lawsuit that we were talking about. This is actually a big deal. Let's do this deal first. Ripple unveils new mega deal. So Ripple is the company that invented XRP, almost like Bitcoin being invented by Nakamoto. Ripple was also invented by this company and developers, and their main focus was to solve cross-border payments. Not like any other crypto where like, oh, well, yeah, you could use it as a cross-border payment, but they have their own ledger, which is almost like an Excel spreadsheet in my head that will show all the transactions on that ledger. So if there is any dispute, at least you could go back to the ledger and see that, and maybe there'll be a help team developed later on to try to get lost funds back and so on and so forth. So Ripple is very built up, and they have lots of partners. Let's hear what this partnership is. Ripple became a minority investor in Fortress Blockchain Technologies, parent company of Fortress Trust. Brad Garlinghouse, CEO, gotta listen to what he says. He added that the acquisition is aimed at accelerating Ripple's business in key areas of crypto infrastructure. This is a worldwide thing, man. They're partnered with Africa, with European banks, acquired Swiss-based crypto custody provider Medico for $250 million. You know what I mean? We're in a bear market, and you would think money's tough, and they keep on expanding. So, more good news from Ripple. How much will it affect the market during this bear market? Not a lot. The price action probably would have already came in from this article. You know what I mean? Usually the price action will swing up, and then a news article gets pinned. Oh, this came out a minute before the price went up. It must be because of this article. People are just pinning the media narrative to the price action. It doesn't always happen that way, especially in a bear market. But something interesting here, dog. I want to hear what your take is. So this company Link 2, There's a lot of advertisement. They do a lot of sponsorships. They have a IPO offering of Ripple, the company shares. An IPO is independent something offering. Before a U.S. stock becomes on the stock exchange, there's like a pre-release, and Ripple, the company, is trying to get into the U.S. stock market and be listed on the stock market. So is this something that XRP holders and the XRP army should get into and also try to hold some Ripple shares on this U.S. stock market? Say it's like a $10 share, or is it better to go with the cryptocurrency that's 50 cents? Do you see any kind of benefit into investing in the company itself? And I'll look up the company's stats too. Hit me with it.
So we're talking about the strictly the stock of the company versus when you buying the Ripple for like 50 cents a pop. That's like just as if you're buying the actual coin, right? That's if you're just transferring your money over.
Yep.
Am I correct?
Almost as
and
like
then,
store of value, kind of like you're really
right.
just investing in the token because it will be used and it will go up in value because it'll become more scarce. There's a finite amount of XRP out there, and the more people buy it and the more people that transact it, there's a burn for every XRP. It's only like 0.1 of a cent, but the more transactions over time, XRP becomes more sought after, is the understanding. Right. And now you have to compare that with the U.S. stock, and will Ripple, the share, be sought after because it's making all these connections, it's solving cross-border payments. Is there any U.S. stock that you can compare to Ripple and doing that cross? Would it be like a Visa or MasterCard kind of stock?
Almost. The thing is with Visa and MasterCard, they're still on the dollar, right? It's not a new currency that it's doing. Mm-hmm. But in terms of just like the stock options, I feel like Ripple just has like an advantage having its own currency, as long as the currency is strong, like the XRP.
Okay.
So I could see investing in both. I feel like the company is more likely to grow than
the token. You know, yeah. And I could see that too, because what if they say, we've talked about this like a couple years ago now, we haven't seen them lean into this, but what if they said XRP was $1 and made it like another stable coin?
Right. Yeah.
Who's saying that can't happen? You know, and
but it can happen. But the thing is, with
something and it's one to one.
Yeah, that'd be rough. My quick thought is on the Ripple thing is that because so Ripple is, yes, it has like the currency of XRP and the other currencies that it has, and it's almost like it's more stable going for the natural stock because the company is going to do what it can to go up, and it's more likely for it to climb than it is for the coin to climb. In that respect, and that there's more things tying into Ripple than there are tying into like XRP alone.
True. Like you have these partnerships, and the question you got to ask is like, is it with Ripple, the company, and how does it affect XRP, the cryptocurrency? This is something that we've never seen in this space before. We don't know how it's going to affect it, so we got to assume, we got to shed some light on what we think. Now, I pulled up this chart here, Johnny. This is, let's make sure we know what we're looking at here. Net worth and insider trading of Ripple Labs Inc. net worth. I'm trying to break it down. Buy, sells, and volume on the left here in millions of dollars. And it looks recently that it's going up, that it's going to break this previous 1030 MGI price. Like it's looking like it's on the move to the upside here, meaning more volume coming in, which is a great sign.
Yeah, I guess it's just showing the amount of movement going on.
But yet the price looks the opposite, where it's going down slowly, but the actual buy-sell volume has been going up since that lawsuit ended. And in September, like right here, boom, and then it shot up 114,000. So it's like $4 trillion, dude. Damn.
Wow.
Right.
Fat
Hold
time.
on. 616,000 to 2 million. So it's like a couple million. It's not bad. So we'll see what happens with the lawsuit. We're going to have to wait a year for the appeal and stuff like that. But looking at the chart, you know, how much more time is left before we're pushing that upper support resistance level and just waiting for a breakout. This has been forming this huge triangle for so long, and even the $3 back here is just one big triangle, and this breakout is imminent, I would say. So align yourself, invest what you can afford to lose, and XRP is definitely worth taking a look at. And also this link to website. I know I looked into it before. There is a monthly payment you have to make, which deterred me. But it doesn't mean that you can pay monthly. You know what I mean? If you wanted to pay the monthly fee of whatever it is and then also invest in XRP that same amount every month, you're getting Ripple. You're going to make that money back if the IPO goes well. So it really depends how much you believe in Ripple, the company, and if you'd rather hold XRP, the token, or Ripple, the US stock shares. But it's going to be really exciting when Ripple IPOs in general, and I could totally see some big price action in XRP, the cryptocurrency, when Ripple IPOs on the US stock market. That's exciting.
Okay.
So
It's not-
this is one quick little funny one, end it here. The SEC filed like this complaint, litigation, whatever fancy lawyer speak. They say that Ripple is prolonging litigation to continue selling XRP, but they're the ones who got him in the lawsuit, and then literally said like the discovery phase where they just need documents submitted. They extended that out 3 months, and then they extended out another 3 months. The SEC did, because they were working on gathering all documents and kept on pushing it down the road. Now that the decision's already made, they think they're trying to prolong it more? No. I wish it was just settled and it was done with. Then it's the SEC, but you got to look out for these news articles that kind of make it seem like Ripple's the bad person here, when look what was happening the whole lawsuit with SEC and postponing things. Bunch of hypocrites, I tell you. So check out my Twitter. I've been getting really active on there, and the YouTube channel. In the info section, you get the Ledger or the Coinbase app to get started. Make sure you check out A Giant Dog. He's got some great content for you, and he's on all the time. So if you're ever bored and just wanted to tune in and before you're falling asleep or something, you'll be very, very entertained. So we'll leave it like that. We'll catch you guys on the next one.
Thanks for having me. Got you.
Johnny, thank you, buddy.
Hot stuff. You love to see it.
All right, time to get video editing. I'll let you go run some Rocket League, dude. Thank you so much.
Hell yeah. It was chill. Definitely for... Yeah, I don't know. The random topics kind of goes hard. It's like chill to do that.
The what goes
So
on?
I could see us doing this like once a week. We kind of go hard. We just like pick like
Agreed.
5 things that happened and then just go crazy.
I'll do once on your show. You do once on mine.
Yeah, it'd be chill. It'd be sick.
It's just fun, like you said, crossing and just. I wonder how many people from Twitter jumped in and then followed you.
Yeah, for sure. It'll be some movement, and it's new for my people to get something like this, because I usually just get drunk and play video games. Like this, I'm actually using my brain here. So.
And it's not hurting. It's just showing that you're doing more in the streaming community in general. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just you being active in general excites people checking in. You just maybe need to keep maybe we both do, to have some kind of schedule, like on YouTube, to go, all right, we're going to pick a day every week that we do our collaboration show, the Johnny and Joe crypto show, or the dog show, the dog party. What do we call it?
Dog park, dog house, dog park. That's your Discord, right? Maybe
the dog sitter.
Sitting on each other. Where do you take them to? Like maybe like the pound, or
Ooh, Ooh, the dog pound or the dog
Or it's like,
park? The dog
or-
park being the
or like a shelter. What's like the shelter called where like you got to leave your dog there for a week because you're on vacation?
Because you said shelter now, can't think. Because in shelter, the dog shelter.
Is there a word?
Dog vacation
Doggy
place.
daycare. I think they
Doggy
just call it that.
daycare. I like that one. Yo, I love that one.
You like
one
that?
Sticks.
All right.
Double D's.
Yeah, double D's just go crazy.
I gotta make a sick logo out of that too, man. And then we'll literally we're gonna have our own section. I'll make like a category of videos on YouTube that'll be doggy daycare.
Pussy cam.
All the
Bro.
streams with me and you will be the doggy daycare streams. Let's go. Let's go. That's hype.
That's lit.
That's awesome, J Rye. All right, so you chilling or you going? What are you doing?
I'm gonna go play some Rocket League.
Word.
Rage. I gotta smite set thing in like an hour, so I gotta eat and chill. Till then,
All good, man. Till then.
let me stream them. Thanks for having me.